Hello, Gunner James 105. So the topic of this video is one of the some themes I've done in the past. Um, they don't seem to be my most viewed videos. I'm not sure why. I'm basically showing some of the items that I've purchased over the year or months or whatever from this gun show or that gun show. I usually would have let's say a bigger haul at one event and do a video on that, but things that I've got on the table, or I'll put on the table here for you to look at, are just some of the things I pick up here, there, wherever. There's shops and antique stores and maybe a little bit on eBay, and some of it just comes to me because somebody's getting rid of whatever. I've recently actually had a couple of World War II items given to me. I still don't quite understand how this works with some families, but if your father had whatever military items that he had when he was in the Second World War, and they're giving that away. They're cleaning house. They're saying, well, they know I'm a collector, so would you like to have it? Well, hell yeah. So this isn't one of them. This was part of an auction. There were a while back. I did a video on the Fairbairn Sykes commando knife, fighting knife, and mentioned that there were this particular ribbed and beaded knife was part of this collection of. There was this machete, a brand new machete made in China deal. There was a kukri, I think a farrier's knife, and there was a Canadian Navy knife, which I'll get to one of these days. But I thought I'd bring this one out here. Decent looking scabbard for that. And so we've got some of the markings there and there. So I'm seeing Mikko, 1945, the broad arrow mark. At least that's what I'm seeing. The 5 could be a 6, I don't know, but 6, 5, somewhere in there. And we have the 51 pattern style hooks. I forget what you call those. The Americans have that similar style. That's why I'm thinking, this color, and that possibly being a 6, don't know. But the machete itself, a nice heavy scabbard. It's reinforced. So we got a double layer here in the rivets, and very well built. You can, of course, put it through a belt if you don't, if you're not using this mechanism here. The nice metal braces there. So we'll pull that out, and the thing has seen some use. And I'd written down there's some markings there, and on the blade, I think, is where I've found more markings. Actually, going to get my glasses on. You're not seeing much of me lately because of my camera system fighting me. I've had difficulties when I have been making videos using my camera. I'm not able to splice anything together. I don't know where I saw the markings. I saw them on here somewhere, but there is where it's the HM and Company, which is basically the Harris and Miller cutlery. And on the knife somewhere, I don't know why I can't see it, but it's there. I saw it before. I had a magnifying glass, I think, because it's worn a bit. So this is a British machete, and that would have been made, I believe that company was at Sheffield, England. And so it does have 1945 on this with the broad arrow. And so the whole thing overall, 23 inches, blade 18 inches, and that's about all I can tell you on that. But a nice piece. I can put that on my 51 pattern pack if I want, because it's got that eyelet type attachment. So there's that. And then I had I found a seller that's got a few things that I've been picking up lately, and This was one of them. This here is pretty nice. It's more of a 50s, 60s pattern ceremonial belt. This one happens to be the Royal Canadian Army Service Corps symbol there. And then we've got some Latin, and I believe that it stands for, what the heck was it again? Oh, think. Nil sine labor, nothing without sacrifice. That's what it was. And this one actually has a name, and we had used our what they call SIN number, social security number, as our number when we would get paid. That's what's on our dog tags or ID tags, if you will. And so his number was here, and I don't think that this Mr. Turner would like me sharing that, so I've covered that up. But nice belt, nice condition. Some of these things you think, well, should I polish that? No, I'll leave it alone. It looks okay. And then just picked up one of these. I've got one of these already that I've had actually since I was an air cadet when I was 14 years old. That's going back a ways. This one I thought was, it was cheap enough. I don't know, it was $8. And it had this, the other one I have doesn't have any markings on it, but this TWH. And I tried to find out what that is. I don't know what that's from. And so, nice little brass button polishing stick. And then there was this here. Now this is American. This would be World War II era. And you've probably seen these before, but I thought, well, ear wardens. What the heck is an ear warden? Large V51R. The ear wardens was just another way of ear plugs. And they made this, if you were trying to fiddle around with some little ear plugs, you're probably going to be dropping them. And so they give instruction. So we've got directions on how to use this and care for it, etc. And so there was 3 sizes, small, medium, large. This is large. And so you'd want to have whatever fits you best. And so you're using this to install into your ear, and it's made this way so if you have gloves on, you can still get at things, and then also, so then you're going to get that into your ear and then push that off. But yeah, so artillery would use these for sure. Definitely want to have some protection of some kind. And so when I was in the artillery, you definitely could see we had ear protection because we had these big muffs, or ear defenders they call them, over our ears. And if you're looking at somebody that was firing artillery back in World War II, well, you'd say, how the heck didn't they go deaf? Well, they probably had something like this in their ears. So that's just a little item I got. And just going along with that, this here, I was going through the pockets of some military items, clothing that I had gotten from a fella, and he is still serving in the Air Force. And so this is, well, basically lip balm, but this is for cold climate, and this is a military issued, made in Canada. I keep going off camera. So there was that, and then I found this, what was it, I don't know, $5. This one's pretty cool. This is the U.S. military. Not sure what era. Actually says U.S. Navy on it. Keep going over there. U.S. Navy, and for sunburn and relief of chapped lips, and it's for hot climate. But I thought it was quite funny that they just referred to it as lipstick. So just a neat little item. This is where you're going to push down on there, and out comes the lipstick. So I have that. A couple of nice shoulder boards. This would be Royal Canadian Artillery, and I think, I don't know how old these are. I think they're quite old, but that'd be for a captain in the Royal Canadian Artillery. So I think it was cheap enough. I don't know if it's $12, and he's like, yeah, what the heck. So, and another item here was, I refer to this book many times. You can see this Canteen. it's a fairly large one. I think it's like a 2 liter at least. And so this neighborhood fella, the next town over, had this. And I think where these came from, he had another one. I think it was a little newer. But we had our civil defense force, and they stockpiled a lot of things like this. And this could have been from that era, the Cold War was on and all that kind of thing. This particular one is a, there's the maker, Rigby and Mellor Limited. And it's broad arrow marked, 1956, and it's mint. It's absolutely mint. This nice cup. I believe this type of information is, if you were to take this cover off, it's on the bottom, I believe. It's all stamped there, and they've got this giant cork, and you can see, you can see down, possibly down in there, that the where that lettering is, right there. That's stamped on the bottom, on the outside. And so, yeah, you can also see how clean that is. It's never been used. But, again, I don't know, $20, not bad at all. And then, this came recently. Now, this is the standard thing. Everybody's probably got one. But I've never had one that was all wrapped in this plastic. And so this one I think is dated 1942 or 43, and it's British. So it's a British wound bandage. Arthur Burton Limited, London. Yeah, February 1942. First field dressing. So having, I collect quite a few different ones, modern, more like all the way through the 50s, all the way up to when I served. And I'd come across this one a while back, which was kind of neat because it's a different shape and size and everything. This is a Canadian, they're calling a Mark III, March of 1944, made in Canada. Bower and Black, Toronto. So, a little different. Very nice C broad arrow mark on there. Always like having that. And so, this here then, this, October of 1955. So this is a dressing, burn, medium. I've seen where, I haven't actually seen it, but I've seen it compared online. The large is really quite large. It's double this size at least. And so this being Johnson & Johnson, as far as I know, got a lot number, and I'm pretty sure that's made in Canada. But so complete with compress and 2 bandages and 6 safety pins, 22 by 18. And sterility is not guaranteed if wrapper is damaged or open. So I'm guessing it would have had that type of a wrapper on it when it was new. So, but still pretty cool. I, of course, can't open it. I'll keep it the way it is. You can kind of see a bit of it there. So that's that. Managed to get a couple of these. Wish I had the main piece this belonged to, but unless I can get a hold of a deactivated one, the FN, what we had were the C1A1, FN, FAL, and those are prohibited. So here's some 762 by 51 on a stripper clip. And so these here, now these are also pinned 5 rounds, because that's the law here as well. You can only fit 5 into that magazine. I believe this will hold, the heck, I forget now. It looks like it should hold at least 10 rounds. And so to load it, then you would have to have a device like so. So I picked one of those up, and it's pretty cool. So just simply push that onto there, and you're going to take and push that down and fill, a couple of these, fill up that magazine pretty quickly, as opposed to doing it one at a time, which you could do. And then another item I picked up, this one was just probably the last item I picked up, this being a kind of a swagger stick cane, and that's a fairly heavy piece of metal. I mean, if you bonk somebody with this, they'd feel it. And it's got a World War I, almost like a lapel pin with Canada on there. I don't know if it's going to focus Canada across the bottom. My angle on this camera is not good for that, but that, and then the artillery, Royal Canadian Artillery. I don't know if this is possibly maple. And then we've got a matching tip, but it's in very nice shape. These are hard to come by. You can get all different types. A lot of them are, there's some factory-made ones that were kind of pumped out higher volume. I think this one's more of a custom-made one. So, because of my background in artillery, of course, these types of things interest me. Picked up from the same fellow at the same time as my last video. I did Japanese items. There was a bunch of these. These are just empty envelopes, but there's seven of them. It was $5 or whatever. But my German's not very good. My wife might be able to help translate, being from Holland. But I believe Arbeidsman and Reichsarbeitsdienst, so Workers' Party, I believe. So there's names, and we go on again with some of the stamps and the dates. Can't quite make this one out for dates. That one's very faint as well. And then we've got return address. And there's about 3 of these. So there's an officer, Unteroffizier, and there's his name. And this is from the bank. So we've got 3 of those. Yeah, so we've got 1942 anyways. And another one. This one's 1943. Here's our RAD again. So, nice little pieces of history from mid-war Germany. So those, whoops. And then just lastly, there was an auction, and this is something I'll have to do a video on its own. I'd like to get out and maybe try this thing out. And so it could be a 1944 Colt M1A1. Yeah, this might be. So this one's fully functioning. Just I haven't fully functioned it yet. So it's in beautiful condition actually. Barrel's beautiful. So we'll get to that one later. For now, thanks for watching.